Hey guys, I wanted to talk about our sponsor for today's episode, Dangerous Waters Comics and More. Dangerous Waters is a new online store where you can find new and back-issue comics, toys, games, D&D books, and other cool collectible items from pop culture. Because Dangerous Waters Comics is new, you have an opportunity right now to get books that are hot, like Gun Honey, Stray Dogs, and Venom, in stock right now and at great prices. This month, all orders over $40 receive free shipping. And if you use code TWISTED10 at any time, you're going to get 10% off your order total. There's no way you're going to get a better deal than that this month. Dangerous Waters is also celebrating Wonder Woman month, and all orders will come with a free Wonder Woman gift. I always prefer to give my business to the little guy, and Dangerous Waters Comics is definitely one that you should visit. Have a look around, you just might find something that you like. Dangerous Waters Comics and More, where you can live dangerously. There are many teleportation spells in 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, and despite its seemingly simple function, each of those spells serve different functions beyond just moving to another space quickly. Far Step is one such spell, and it often is misunderstood in its application. Welcome to the Twisted Tentacle Inn. I am your innkeeper, and today we will be talking about the spell Far Step. And if you like this content, please click like, subscribe, and check out my Patreon and my Discord. Links are in the comments. Far Step is a spell that lasts 1 minute and grants you a bonus action ability to teleport. You can use this bonus action teleport every round as long as you maintain concentration, which means that it's like being able to cast Misty Step each round, but only using one 5th level spell slot. Some argue that this spell is not good enough for a 5th level spell, especially since the 2nd level spell Misty Step exists. Personally, I think that this spell is actually pretty great. I just don't think that it's strictly better than Misty Step. I just think it's different in its application, and some functions do overlap with Misty Step, but overall I think the applications of this spell are much different. Let's look at the pros and cons of this one versus casting Misty Step when needed. So the pros, Misty Step is a bonus action level 2 spell, which means that you can't cast it and then cast another spell on the same round unless it's a cantrip. So Far Step lets you teleport and still cast level spells, because once you've cast it after the first round, your teleport is no longer the casting of a spell, it's just a bonus action ability that you're getting for concentrating on the spell after you've casted the first round. So you can still use a bonus action teleport and use your action to cast spells without having to use any sorcery points for quickening or anything of the sort. So this is pretty huge. Being able to use a bonus action teleport and still be able to sling spells in a tough fight is going to be very good. As I said, mobility is one of the best things that you can do tactically to keep yourself safe. And this spell lets you pop around the battlefield, confusing your opponents, all while destroying them with your spells. It even lets you help the frontline allies by running up to them, feeding them healing potions, and then being able to teleport away without being exposed to opportunity attacks by running into the thick of melee, and you can teleport away to safety. Another benefit of Far Step is that it allows you to teleport up to 60 feet, which is double the distance of Misty Step. Misty Step's 30-foot teleport can still leave you within the distance of some foes, and it may not be enough to get to a safe place. 60 foot is a lot more, and many enemies don't even have movement rate to close that gap of 60 feet to begin with. Whereas some foes can reach the 30-foot gap, or at least dash to get there. Outside of combat, this spell can be extremely helpful for exploration purposes, allowing you to teleport repeatedly, boom, 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 totaling a distance of 600 feet in the span of 1 minute, as long as you concentrate throughout the full term of the spell. So in a way, you're getting more distance than even a spell like Dimension Door. Now, what are the cons of casting this spell versus Misty Step? Misty Step is a 2nd level spell, which is definitely a far cheaper resource than this spell. A 5th level spell slot is very valuable in this game, keep in mind that a lot of combats you're really only going to need to teleport one time to stay safe. So using a second level spell slot for that one needed teleport is a lot less of a resource than using a 5th level spell slot. Even though you're getting that bonus action teleport every round, you may only have needed to teleport one time. Now, of course, this is very campaign and encounter specific, but overall, I think major combats are where Far Step is going to shine. Smaller combats is where you'd probably want to go with Misty Step. Far Step also uses your concentration, which in my opinion is even more costly than using that 5th level spell slot, which is also a big cost. This makes the spell less ideal for casters that want to use their concentration for other things like battlefield control or that kind of thing. So I think if you're a controller or a buffer or debuffer, this type of spell is inferior to just using Misty Step whenever you need it. But if you're a blaster, then this spell is really good. I always recommend using your concentration for defenses if you're specializing in blasting, and there's very little that can help boost your tactics for defense than some good mobility. So if you're a blaster, I think this spell is a great choice to beef up your defenses and keep yourself safe. I also think that this spell has some major out-of-combat implications, mainly for exploration and utility. Being able to teleport up to 60 feet 10 times with one casting of this spell is pretty darn good, and you can get very far, get atop hard to reach places, that kind of thing, or any number of other things. It's also 100 more feet than Dimension Door, as I mentioned earlier, which is a very large distance to begin with. Not to mention it allows for a more cautious approach than Dimension Door towards your destination, which can come in handy at times, even allowing you to double back if you run into danger. So with Dimension Door, you're here, you teleport 500 feet, right? With Far Step, you could go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, or whatever, and then now you're close enough, you see that there's a lot of danger, you don't want to get any closer, so you can just double right back. Whereas with Dimension Door, you teleport, oops, there was more danger there than I expected, now either waste another spell slot or have to deal with that situation. So this spell allows you a far more cautious approach towards your destination. So as I said in my 5th level sorcerer spells video, don't sleep on the utility and exploration aspects of this spell because it's actually pretty powerful. So to summarize, I think that Far Step is a great spell with applications for combat, exploration, and utility, and it's probably not a full replacement for Misty Step, but I think it has enough application beyond what Misty Step can do that it does warrant some consideration. I also think that blasters can really make some awesome use of this spell, leveraging it to a great defense and tactical option. And the only time I don't recommend this spell is for casters that are specializing in concentration spells like battlefield control or buffing and debuffing. So I do hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I'm your innkeeper from the Twisted Tentacle Inn. Check in anytime. I'll talk with you then.